welcome to No Look Reviews, where we watch United games so you don't have to. We have an action-packed week for you guys, and let's start with the Copenhagen game. To start off, we're going to look at the lineups first. Again, Evans over Varane, I think is a valid choice. Varane did not really do well when he came on as a sub, and he had a weird attitude, an interesting attitude. I guess you're going to talk more about it later on. And then Dalot at left back, and as usual, he fucks up in that position. So, yeah, well, United started off pretty well. Højlund got 2 goals. We created a lot of chances. Yeah. Garnacho scuffed his shot. Not scuffed his shot. He had a good shot, but the goalkeeper made a good save, and Højlund still scored. Yeah. Our poacher. United was controlling for the first 15 or so, 20 so minutes till they went up 2-0. But one of the major things that happened at the start of the game was when Evans got injured. And that is when we had to bring on Varane. So,
four-time Champions League winner.
Yep.
Countless titles with Real Madrid. Supposedly an elite player, but what a shit attitude, Rahil.
What can I say? It's all most of the United players, right?
Yeah, like you see him coming on. First ignores Ten Hag, then he ignores another Man United player while he comes on, and then it takes Andre Onana literally shaking him and telling him to fix up before, he actually kicks a ball. So, yeah, I mean, like, as soon as you saw that, like, you knew that Varane's not going to play well this game. Or, I don't know, I don't think he's going to play well until he leaves in the January window. And he's going to go to the Saudi League, so let's see.
Well, if we get some decent money there, I wouldn't mind it. Because at this point, United needs money, and we need to get rid of all these shitters. So that's what we do. Either he fixes up or he leaves. And I don't care if he leaves. I'd rather play an academy player over these guys. Honestly, we're already out of the Champions League. I don't think we're going anywhere at this point.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
But yeah, that's that. And then the big thing happened where that's where our downfall started. Rashford trying to defend for the one time in his life. The one time in the past couple of games or this whole season. I don't know what happened, but and then VR intervened. We got a red card. Rashford stepped on an ankle of a player while trying to defend or guard the ball that he already had possession of, and steps on studs first right on the ankle. It was a pretty bad step, not gonna lie. I would give a red for that. Listen. I would give a red for that, but for everyone. I wouldn't be VAR and just give a subjective red to United and not anyone else. But that's a red in any case, in the sense that it can injure a player. It is a dangerous tackle. Even though he didn't mean it, it happens, and you just got to be a little bit more careful. That's my opinion. I know it wasn't exactly the most fair decision in terms of what we have seen in the past with other games and other teams, but that's what I have to say for it, I guess.
I mean, look, intent is one thing, but you look at the play back, right? Like, Rashford's trying to guard the ball. Yeah. He's not even looking at the man. Yeah. The defender, or I guess in this case, like the wing back or whoever it was, like he comes from behind Rashford and he's trying to step into the ball. If Rashford gets the ball, that's a foul on Rashford. Yeah. Like it's a United free kick. Yeah. So the fact that he can't even see, the defender's trying to challenge from behind. Like just because Rashford steps accidentally on him, no matter how bad it is, there's like one, there's no intent, and second, like it's not even. I don't even know. Like this happens so many times, like. Another thing with VR, like just building on last week, right? During the game, like if in the context of the game, the referee didn't call it a foul. Like he didn't even call it a foul. Like forget a red card, forget a yellow card. Like there was no card, no foul. United kept on playing. They had a counter attack, whatever. If United scored, like it would have counted. Yeah. Like VAR again, like they're trying to find issues in a game where there aren't any issues, and thereby they're just ruining the game for everyone. I think it was just a shit decision. Like you see everyone come out later and say like ex-players coming out and say like that's never a red card. Like forget like attackers, like defenders are coming out and saying it's not a red card. So I don't know. I think it was a shit decision again by VAR. It's happened way too much in the Premier League and Champions League, and that's it. Like I think the Champions League's over for United because of this shit decision.
I mean, as I said, we were talking earlier today, and we were like talking about how United would have been if that red card didn't happen. If, let's say, Rashford just gets a yellow and we still keep going on in the game. We probably don't concede that first goal, maybe because obviously once United gets a bad decision, our momentum breaks, we get fucked up most of the times. But in my opinion, a lot of times when United does well, controls the game for like maybe 20 minutes, 20 or so odd minutes, that's when United also gets hit with a downfall because they I don't know what it is, but they can't keep going. They'll always end up losing momentum. One attack from the other team, and we fuck up in some way or another. We give off a pen, we'll make a stupid tackle, we'll concede a stupid goal. The edge of the box is always a fucking issue.
Always.
And I just think that even if Rashford's red card didn't happen, we were conceding in the next 5-10 minutes.
See, my thing is like, we had just learned how to play with 11 men on the field, right? Like,
and then we went down.
And then you go to 10, and then it's like everyone at that point knew. Like, it doesn't matter if it was Copenhagen, if it was a 5th tier team in like the English pyramid. Like, it doesn't matter. United was gonna lose from that point onwards. Like, we don't have our first choice players. Like, and the players that are playing, such as Varane, they don't want to be there, right? So effectively, we're playing with 9 men on the field.
It's
a shit show. Like,
it's an unfortunate reality, right?
Yeah, like, and it would help if referees can officiate a game fairly, right? Like, that would help with playing with 10 men because Varane doesn't want to play.
Again, it's the arrogant players that we have that think that they're the best ones out there. I mean, we were talking with our friends like last night too, like Varane having issues, Casemiro having regrets of joining United. Like, there's a bunch of players out there that are big boys, big players. They think that they're big players, but again, they were part of one of the best teams. They weren't the only ones performing. They had people carrying them up on their backs. Varane did put in his shifts at in France and in Real Madrid. He is one of the best center backs in the world, but again, he had Ramos next to him, coaching him, guiding him every step of the fucking way. Casemiro, all he had to do was the dog work, and Crusoe controlled the midfield. Yeah. Like, they had world-class players that were doing not most of the work, but like the major part of the work. And they had very specific things that they need to do and need to focus on, and that's what they did well.
And you mentioned Ramos, and that's the perfect example, right? Like that shows you who's actually the big boy in the team. Because Ramos goes to Sevilla, right? And when he plays Real Madrid, he's a bastard. Like, he was the reason why Real Madrid was actually suffering in the game. Yep. And so, doesn't matter which team you're in. Like, if you are an elite player, you're an elite player, and you're gonna make a difference.
And you gotta be loyal to the team you're playing for, bro.
Exactly. So, like Ramos could be like, yeah, whatever, it's Sevilla. Like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm about 35, 36. But that's the thing, right? That's what
the winning
differentiates
mentality,
him. Yeah.
The winning elite mentality that he has. And again, he does have a sweet spot for Sevilla because that's where he started his career, I guess, right? So that's where I guess his passion also comes into play. But then again, you have that mentality in you, and you got to keep carrying it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, moving on, United conceded 1 goal right after the red card. It didn't take too long. Back post, Wan-Bissaka tried to cover. Actually, didn't try to cover.
Actually, I don't agree because I think Wan-Bissaka was covering his position, but what we were lacking was that right winger.
I mean, the thing is, Rashford doesn't do his defensive duties too much. He was doing it in that game, but then again, you never know. Even if he was on the field, would he have been there is the biggest question.
But the thing is...
But we would also have more control on the game. We lost momentum. So, I mean, again, a lot of what-ifs, a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka did what he could. He saw a man inside, and then he just covered a man who's already being kind of guarded by, I don't know, who was it, Varane or Maguire or something.
It's Varane on the right,
And then he was moving in he didn't need to exactly, but again, good ball to the far post to the center of the box, and then a good finish. That was a good goal, not going to lie.
Good goal.
So, either way, credit to Copenhagen where it's due, and United got fucked. And then at the end of this first half, we also conceded again. You wanna talk about it?
Yeah, so Copenhagen puts a ball in the box.
Yeah.
Again, from the right side, just targeting Dalot, because we all know Dalot cannot play on the left. He can hardly play on the right. So, cross on the left, and Varane again, I don't know what he was doing, playing pinball with Maguire, and then it bounces up Varane, hits Maguire on the arm. Maguire can't really do much about it, I would say, because
it's not his fault. It's a very shaky kind of situation, very close cut, just kicking around.
But it was a penalty though, so I wouldn't complain too much about that. It's a penalty, good penalty. Yeah, but I think that guy is he's one of their top scorers. Yeah. So it was a good job by him with the penalty. Yeah. And then it was 2-2, and United desperately needed halftime. And thank God that we were close to halftime, or else it could have easily been 3-2.
Easily. And then we went back to halftime. We came back. A little better, a little more controlled. I guess there was some talking points in the dressing room that Ten Hag probably mentioned. Mm-hmm. We tried to control the game a little bit, had some sort of control on the game. We eventually got a penalty. Again, similar situation to what happened to Copenhagen, like the way they got a penalty in the first half. We got the same thing, handball, headed off Maguire, went onto the Copenhagen defender's arm, conceded a pen. Bruno with a great penalty, top bins.
Great penalty.
And yeah, we were up 3-2. And that's where it all went downhill.
And I think this is where you don't blame VAR.
This is all on us. That's all on us. Yeah. We just sat back and let them attack. That's not how you fucking play, bro.
Yeah, you can blame them for, the Rashford red card, like, we threw the game away. Yeah. But then, once you're in a position where you fight back and you get on top, that's when it's not the VAR anymore, that's not the refs anymore, it's the players on the pitch. Yeah,
honestly, this was a worse performance than what Tottenham put up against Chelsea.
I don't agree with that, because all these media pundits and everyone hyping up Postecoglou playing a fucking high line.
Well, that was a crazy high line.
It was the anyone who's played.
Yeah.
knows that it's the stupidest decision ever.
It's the funniest.
All it takes is a second man run from behind, and you're exposed.
And you're done. You're gone.
Like you're gone.
The rightly timed run and pass, and you're done. Like the whole field's empty. Like who's gonna catch up to that, dude?
No one's gonna catch up. Like Vicario had a good game. Yeah, I would say, but
Vicario did some good sweeper keeper type of situations, bro. Good save. He came back. He like slid into the fucking ball, fought for those second balls and whatnot, but Nicholas Jackson got a fucking hat trick, and he had those celebrations lined up, so that was funny. But yeah,
come back to the
game. Dalot forgot how to actually he never knew how to defend. I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Let's not talk about that.
And then Varane doing what he doesn't do best. I don't even know. Varane doing what he does. It was downhill. They kept attacking. We had a low block. We were trying to play the Jose Mourinho way of park the bus, but our bus was never really parked.
Yeah.
We never really had a bus. It was just a broken or just a bus that we could sell for parts mainly, maybe. Yeah. But that's about it. And, conceded 2 goals.
It was a toy bus. Let's be honest. It was a toy bus.
Yeah.
You park a toy bus in an actual goal,
I would say it's more like a selling for parts type of situation because half the parts just don't work. Yeah. But yeah, well, let's move on with it. But yeah, 2 goals and both of them came from the back post. Dalot was nowhere to be found. He just left his man for the first goal. And the second goal, he did not know what he was doing. Yeah. And we can't blame Onana. We can't really do anything about it. Onana actually made a couple really good saves, here and there, so...
Yeah. But yeah, that was that. I mean, pretty much out of the Champions League.
We're out.
We're not beating Galatasaray. Forget beating them by 2 goals. We're not beating Galatasaray, and even if we do somehow manage that, we're not drawing with Bayern Munich. So,
we need the win and the draw.
Yeah, and in that order.
Yeah,
in that order. So I think let's just finish 4th. Let's finish 4th. Forget Europa League. Let's not get into that.
I guess we'll have more of a chance to focus on the Premier League. Are we still in the FA Cup? We're still in the FA Cup, right?
Yeah. The big teams haven't started playing, so we're good for a bit.
Yeah. So, well, there's an opportunity there for a cup, but let's be honest, we haven't done well in the FA Cup for a while, so.
Yeah,
that's gonna be that. And
I think the best chance for United this season is just try to consolidate as much as they can. Keep whatever players they have right now fit, and do the best they can in the league. And forget the midweek games. Have some more time just practicing tactics and stuff. Trying to make sure these players who don't really play with each other, because what we're doing is we're literally picking the worst parts out of each position and we're trying to put them together as a team, and let's see if they can gel together. So. Yeah, I think that's Champions League, and we move on to the game against the worst team in the Premier League, factually.
Luton Town. Yeah. What do you have to say for this? Let's start off with the lineups. Again, this time, he rotated the defense a little bit more, I guess, to save up on injuries and not, cause too much pressure on Wan-Bissaka. He brought in Reguilon, and Dalot is, again, playing on the right. He's okay on the right. Whatever. Let's move on.
It's Luton. Let's keep
Luton. Yeah. So Lindelof played left center back and then Maguire right center back. No Varane again, and for obvious reasons because of his attitude and whatnot. So it is what it is. Started off good. Well, I guess Højlund had a good chance. It was a scrappy chance, obviously. Scrappy clearance or kind of ball from Maguire. Rashford kind of made it to the ball. Crossed it in, took a deflection. Højlund used his knee or thigh to kind of finish. And it was straight at the goalkeeper.
I think at that point, like... the keeper was too close to him anyways.
Yeah, it's very point blank, so... Yeah. I don't blame him too much, but again, I think he should do a little bit better. Again, it's tough love for me to Højlund. Obviously, he's been doing really well. Yeah. We're going to talk about that later on as well. But, he messed up that chance. Eventually, Garnacho got one-on-one.
Yeah.
He could have finessed it, dinked it, whatever, but he chose to shoot it pretty much straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he tried going around, but he went around the wrong side, and I don't know why he did that, because clearly he had a defender coming on to cover.
He could have even went down left and then just emptied that, But it is what it is. We moved on, and pretty much nothing really happened apart from that. No big chances, really. Some half chances. Luton Town got like one half decent chance when Bruno messed up and like gave the ball away in edge of the box. Onana made a really good save. I remember that.
Yeah, there was a cross. Yeah, there was a cross again. This from the right side this time. Yeah. So it was Regulion this time at fault. But Onana did a good save. But I think it's a save he should make.
The thing is, he's had shaky performances. But as a United keeper, save that. Yeah. But as a normal average keeper, maybe you could mess that up. It is what it is. But again, it was a decent header. A little bit more power, and then that probably would have gone in. But strong end from Onana. Good stuff. We went on. Second half comes in.
And Eriksen goes down injured. The one reason why we controlled the last two games, or we tried to when we had 11 men against Copenhagen. Yeah. So he went down injured. It's come out recently that he might be out until mid to late December.
That's going to be a big loss.
It's going to be a big loss because he's the only midfielder that can somehow control the midfield. So Mount comes on. I thought he did good. For me, this was his best performance in the United shirt so far. I can agree with that. A lot of good recoveries. I think there was 6 ground recoveries, couple more tackles. Yeah. Good passing. I think he had around 35 passes in 40 minutes.
Yeah, he had 80-ish% pass accuracy, which is okay, not too bad.
Which is okay for a creator because that's who he is basically. So he had a good performance, and he had a part to play in Lindelof's goal, which we'll get into. But yeah, second half was more similar to the first half. We still had control despite Eriksen leaving. We had a couple of half chances. Mm-hmm. But then let's talk about the goal. So comes from a corner. Yep. The defender heads it clear, but again doesn't get it far enough. So it gets to Mount. Mount plays it to Rashford on the right. Rashford, I think it was a low cross.
I think he was trying to shoot that.
I think it was a low cross. He's done that before. I would give him the benefit of the doubt there.
All right.
I thought it was a low drilled cross. The defenders tried to clear it again, but again, the shot had so much power they couldn't really control it. Yeah. It falls to Lindelof, and Lindelof with a good finish.
Yeah, it got to McTominay and then Lindelof. So good finish. Not gonna lie, it was pretty much down the middle, and the goalkeeper just dove to one side. I don't know why. He just wanted to do that. But yeah, good finish. Our Iceman scored. He finally showed that he still has somewhat.
When you play him at center back, he's okay. He can do a job against teams like
Plus, Luton. Again, it's Luton. So, I mean, the thing is, Luton has played some good games this season. They showed some prowess, some, energy against other teams. So, I was kind of surprised. They didn't do much this game. They didn't try. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe, United's name... intimidates them.
Maybe they played the name and not the actual game. So
because the team itself is ass. So
but again, comfortable win. 1-0 like I predicted.
I mean, I predict 3-1 because I just know we concede a goal, and I mean it's Luton, so I thought we would score some more goals. And as we saw, we did have a couple chances. That Højlund chance, that Garnacho chance, Rashford chance, that Anthony Anthony probably had a pretty good pass. He got the ball from Mount. He probably had a good pass, went in, cut inside, and he didn't take a shot. So, good on him. Yeah. And then Rashford just messed it up. So, it is what it is. We messed up a lot of chances. We could have had a lot more goals. But, again, that's a pattern that we need to break. It's a classic pattern that we've been working with for the past couple of years.
And right now, the goals are only coming from midfielders or Rasmus Hoyland. But Rasmus hasn't scored in the Premier League.
Nope.
And went off injured in the second half.
Oof, yeah, that's...
It's not as bad as Eriksen's, but I think he might miss the next game against Everton.
It's going to be a couple weeks till he comes back.
I think the Everton game is a big loss. Just because very physical side, you need someone to hold the ball up top. So
let's see how Martial can do. I mean, Martial's hold-up play isn't the worst. His link-up play isn't the worst.
He's not as physical.
But he hasn't been up to his game recently, so let's see. He has talent. Maybe he shows something that day. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's that. So that was the United games for this week. I would say mixed bag. Would like to win in the Champions League. I think we were on course, but, shit happens. So
I did predict a not so good game against Copenhagen, so I guess we got that.
Yeah, well. All right. So there's one other game this week, which was...
It's a big game.
Big game. Man City versus Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I hope... I know you want to talk about this. So
hey, it was a huge game. None of us watched the game. We were both busy with one of our own endeavors. We were playing soccer. We had a league that we were part of, and we ended up winning that too. So congrats to us! Yay! Whatever.
Three-time Champions League winner.
Hey, fuck off. Hey. But yeah, back to Man City Chelsea. We watched the highlights. It was an action-packed game. A lot of things happened. It was a shock, really, because Man City obviously started off the scoring. They scored, but then Chelsea came back. It was 2-1. Then City came back. It was 3-2. And then 3-all.
And then
4-3. Yeah. And then 4-all at the last fucking minute. I wanted to talk about that last goal, that last penalty. Cole Palmer against his old...
Cold
Palmer.
Ice cold.
He's crazy. Crazy good penalty. Took the fucking... He took it up to himself, he owned up to it, and he scored the penalty. But that challenge from Diaz was stupid. It was Diaz
shocking.
Being as good of a defender as he is, you don't just dive in the box like that. I know you're young, and but he is a little disciplined. I mean, a young player is reckless, but
I do want to say it was last minute, right? So I think he probably expected. I don't know was it Palmer still who got fouled or
no that was Sterling or Jackson, I think, one of them. I don't remember
whoever it was. I think that he probably expected them to take the shot just because it was last minute, but good composure because they shifted the ball in and they got fouled. So
it was a really weird tackle, but other than that Thiago Silva goal was amazing. He showed his experience. He showed how good he still is.
Of course, he
stopped Haaland on a chance here and there. He stopped a lot of different players. He's still up top of his game. 39-year-old, fucking crazy. It's he broke a record after Ryan Giggs for the oldest player to score a goal in the Premier League. It's crazy too. Haaland got a penalty. That's another point of talking. And that one was controversial, obviously, because it was Cucurella on Haaland that they eventually gave the penalty for. But right before Cucurella pulled Haaland, which is not a very harsh pull, really, to be honest, Haaland did push Cucurella, and that could have been counted as a foul. So, again, VAR doing what VAR does best and giving subjective decisions. And But what else? Rodri scored.
Yeah.
Again, as usual.
Typical long range.
As usual, Rodri took the shot outside the box and then got a little lucky. The deflection got them the goal. I mean, either way, it was going on target, so it could have possibly went in, but that deflection just guaranteed it. But overall, Chelsea surprised us. Yeah. Pochettino's system is kind of showing its face, the high press than what they normally used to do at Tottenham. And then Man City just breaking down they sometimes do in front of different teams.
And Walker's someone you depend on in these games. Yeah. And he's roughed up by Sterling a lot this game.
Yeah. So old teammates roughing up each other,
Yeah.
It was an interesting game. I feel like Chelsea is kind of coming back, but they will have some shaky games here and there, obviously, because still a new system that the players are getting used to. The players are newly getting meshed up together.
Yeah.
And City showing their weaknesses here and there. I don't know what happened in this game, but they just couldn't cope with the Chelsea. They tried their best. I mean, it was still a 4-all game. Yeah. Both teams kind of fucked up in places and did kind of well in other places. So, I mean, it was just a great game that we missed out on.
Unfortunately.
But that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say. It's just going to be an exciting season at this point, because City losing points means Liverpool's closer, Arsenal's a little closer. Tottenham also starting to be a little shaky, starting to show their color.
Is it? I don't know. Do you think just because what they did was they lost 3 players, key players, not gonna lie. But
Maddison being like a big loss.
You're playing against Wolves, they're not a team that scores, and then you concede 2 goals in stoppage time.
I mean, that Sarabia goal is great.
Good control.
And then even finish. At that pass to Lamina and the assist, Sarabia really played the second he came on, he showed his talent. But yeah.
I mean, before the Chelsea game, they were my favorites to win the league.
Yeah.
The way they were playing, it was just who's going to stop them?
The thing is, they were playing a very much the same way, and eventually someone was going to find a way through. So, depending on how Ange Postecoglou really shifts his tactics in that sense, we don't really know what's going to happen. So... yeah, let's see. I mean, they do have players to kind of replace Maddison. Obviously, none of them as good as Maddison.
Yeah.
Richarlison wasn't exactly the most important player, but obviously it's still a loss because he was the more consistent starter as well, for a reason or another. But yeah, let's see how it goes. At this point, I do think Liverpool are close favorites, even though they don't have a great balance in their team and their structure. They're doing really well, so eventually someone has to break them down. But yeah,
I still think City's gonna win the league.
I think
they're gonna do 4 in a row, and it's unfortunate because that record's never been made. It's always been 3 in a row.
Yeah,
and it was United who did that twice, and City who did that last year.
Yeah.
But you know what? It is what it is. They're a good team.
Yeah,
115 charges. That's another story. But they're a good team, and.
I mean,
they would deserve it if they do 4 in a row. They've been playing that football. So
I mean, Pep has been changing it up every year. He's been always switching up the tactics, kind of switching it every year, mixing it up. He's a smart manager. He knows how to play around with the ball. He knows how to shift around his tactics and make things work in different games. So props to him. Props to the team. Props to the players. It is what it is. Sucks to be a United fan at this point.
I don't know. This was supposed to be a crisis season.
I mean, we do have the best form at the moment.
Best form team in the league.
Yeah.
Only 6 points off the top of the table.
Yep.
So it's not the end of the world.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know if we make the Europa League spot either, but let's see. Hopefully, honestly, it's going to be the second half of the season that saves our asses, because that's when most of our players are going to be back.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no more injuries happen. Hopefully, we end up settling down after the transfer window, and players like Sancho and whoever wants to leaves, and we end up getting someone to replace them and kind of maybe revamp the squad a little bit as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's that, I guess. And we can kind of move on to, towards the end of the video. Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with Player of the Week.
All right.
Do you have any?
I have no Player of the Weeks. I mean, I know Højlund played well. He just scored his goals, but he did also miss his chances here and there. Poor guy did get injured, so sucks for that. But honestly, no one really performed for us. I don't think anyone deserves a Player of the Week or any sort of special mention. And not trying to blame the team. We have a lot of injuries. We have a lot of shit that we've kind of taken throughout the time. So at this point, I guess I don't have any names. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just an empty. No Players of the Week.
For me, I'm gonna give it to Rasmus Højlund. Again, I think I've already bought the bandwagon. I've bought the stocks. I'm banking on them. I think, it's going to be... I think he's going to score 20 goals this season. I don't know how they're going to be split across the different competitions, but, he's Champions League top scorer.
Yeah.
Despite United being 4th. He's the only one that's,
score for us.
That's scoring for us in the Champions League. He's the only one showing some fight.
Yep.
And... yeah, maybe this season, we're riddled by injuries and, it might not be the best environment for him. But once we settle down and we have a team around him, I think he's going to show, real prolific form. So, Rasmus Højlund, for me, he's played really well. Unfortunately, he's injured. Let's hope he comes back soon because we really need him. Moving on to Clown of the Week, Ahil. Go for it.
Ooh, Clown of the Week. I mean, mine is Dalot.
Yeah.
Hands down, hats off. great fucking player at left back. You know, it's just great to see how perfectly shit he can be in that position.
Reminds me of Marcelo.
Huh?
Reminds me of Marcelo.
Marcelo?
Reminds me of Marcelo if Marcelo was shit.
That's true.
Yeah.
Marcelo's not shit though. But yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, Dalot did not do well. The goals that happened was kind of mostly because of him against in the Copenhagen game.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything special in the Luton game, even though he played on the right back in his preferred position. Defensively, he's just not good. He leaves his man every now and then. He ghosts every now and then. And yeah, that's pretty much that for me.
Yeah. For me, my club of the week, I mentioned it last week that I hope I don't have to give it to VAR again, but VAR, you are garbage. And I hope the less we see of you, the better it is going forward, because, you know,
fair play.
It's knocked us out of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. So, yeah, you're a fucking clown, VAR. Peace.